Hi, I'm Kyle Barton of BB Custom Tools, and I'd like to introduce you to the Stretcher Drilling Guide Mark III. As you may know, the common techniques for drilling stretcher mortises and chair legs have generally required a steady hand, good hand-eye coordination, and a careful measurement of the angles. This stretcher drilling guide will make boring those mortises far simpler, faster, and above all, accurate. So this latest iteration of the stretcher drilling guide has all the functionality of the previous guides, just at a more attractive price. So let's start with a brief overview of the drilling guide. First off, let's go over the basic components of the drilling guide. The first thing is this 1/2-inch rod end bearing. This guides the drill extension for perfect results and is the real heart of the guide. The threaded rod here adjusts up and down, and this hollow taper base fits into the tapered leg mortise like so, and allows the threaded rod to pass through the bottom of the guide here. This allows for a wider range of height adjustment from one length of threaded rod. The 9 1/4 inch threaded rod supplied with the guide is long enough for almost all chair designs. It allows you to drill mortises from 4.5 inches to 12 3/4 inches off the bottom of the seat. However, if you're making something like a bar stool, you may need a longer length of threaded rod. You can simply make your own from readily available 1/2 inch by 20 threaded rod, or you can purchase additional lengths of pre-cut threaded rod from us. The drilling guide also comes with this 18-inch drill extension and center finder. Alright, this 18-inch drill extension readily accepts 1/2 inch shanked bits and 7/16 inch hex shank bits. It will also accept 3/8 inch round shanks, 5/16 inch hex shanks, and 1/4 inch hex shanks with the 2 adapter bushings we sell. We have a YouTube video on all the various bits you can use with our drill extensions. The guide is designed to be used with chairmakers drill bits. Those are bits that have a long center brad for drilling at angles. We sell those bits under our Triton line of drill bits. The center finder here fits on the end of the drill extension and allows you to easily mark the center of the legs for stretcher mortises. It has a bird's mouth on the end and this groove to center your pencil. Now let's see a short demo of the drilling guide in action. We're going to be drilling from the front leg into a mortise into the rear leg. So let me tell you a little bit about the setup. I have the seat blank here. It's upside down, of course, the legs in their tapered mortises. I do have it raised up on some hockey pucks, just because the end of the mortises in the legs do poke through on the underside of the seat just a little bit, and this raises everything off the bench. And then we have our stretcher jig here mounted into the front tapered leg hole. So what do we need to do first? Well, first of all, I want to make sure everything's secure. We'll secure the jig here in a second. And we're going to be drilling our leg mortise at 10 inches high. So it's going to be 10 inches high here off the bottom of the leg. And just to keep it simple, I'm going to set the front stretcher jig at the same height. Now, depending on the plans you're following or your own design, the height off the bottom of the seat for your stretcher mortises may be a bit different. So follow your plans, follow your design. So you may have to, this could, let's say your rear leg was at 10 inches. Well, your front leg may be at 8 inches. So you need to lower this down to where the mortise location is 8 inches off the bottom of the seat. But let's go ahead and make our mark. I've already set these dividers for 10 inches. So I just put a little mark there. And then I just like to bring it across just a little bit. All right. And now we need to do the same thing here. Like I said, we're doing this at the same height. So this is going to be at 10 inches. We want to make sure the center of our rod end bearing is right there. And I need to come down just a couple of turns. That looks good. Now there are 2 ways you can adjust. You can adjust, of course, down here, screwing this in and out of the tapered base unit. That's usually what I do. There is about 1 inch, maybe 1 1/4 inch of adjustment up here at the rod end bearing. You might need that in some circumstances if you're going extremely tall with the jig, but this goes. So just tighten this down a little bit. We just want to secure it, not overly tight, but just a little bit. A little bit more than finger tight is how I would do it. You don't really need to crank down on it. And then you want to make sure the jig is pointed in the general direction of the leg. You have about a 30-degree either way swing adjustment on the rod end bearing. So as long as it's pointed in the general direction, you're going to be fine. So just tap that in, make sure that's all secure. All right, I just want to drop this clip in. When we originally shot the demo, we used a different version of the center finder. We have since found that the original version is the easiest to use, so that's the one that's going to be shipping with the guide. So let me show you how to use this. So first off, we need to mark the height of our mortise from the bottom of the seat. That's 10 inches, and that's what these dividers are set to. So we simply come up here and we put a little mark there, and that is the height. So now we need to find the center of that leg, and that's where the center finder comes in. So you take your drill extension, put it through the rod end bearing of the guide, put the center finder on the end, and then you simply have the bird's mouth that finds the center of that leg, and you have the groove here for your pencil to ride in. Now you want to move this in the same angle that the leg is. So you just go ahead and, go ahead and put your pencil in, doing this left-handed, and make your mark. And there is the center of your leg and the exact point where you want to drill your mortise. Now at this point, I like to go ahead and take a awl and put a little pinprick here so you got something for your drill bit to register in. And that's basically how easy it is. Insert the tip of our drill into that. Now at this point, you can always double check everything, make sure everything's lined up. Everything looks good. So now it's time to drill the mortise. So put a shaft into the rod end bearing. Put our drill on the end of the shaft. Now we have one of our 5/8" Tritons here with one of Sean Murphy's drill stops. Those work really well. So we put the end of that Triton bit right there where we made our pinprick. I just like to hold the top of the seat, and then we drill till we hit our stop. And that's how easy it is. Now what I want to do is take the drill off the end of the shaft here. Put that aside. And before we take the shaft out of the rod end bearing, clean that away, and we just want to double check our depth. And it's right on the money. So now we can move to the other rear leg. Everything is set up. The rod end bearing is at the height we need for the other front leg. We just need to put our other rear leg into its tapered mortise, move the jig over to the other front leg, and then we can drill the next mortise. As you can see, the stretcher drilling guide is simple to use, quick to set up, and above all else, accurate and repeatable. We have several videos showing you how to use the previous version of the stretcher drilling guide to drill mortises for H stretcher undercarriages as well as box stretcher undercarriages. The general operation and functionality is the same as with this guide. Thanks to the hollow taper-based design of this new iteration of the guide, you only need one length of threaded rod for most chairs. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, please leave a comment below or visit our website at bbcustomtools.com.